So in this video we will take a look at how you can 3D print and make models with only AI. So I have already been covering some steps on how to make 3D models just by using AI, and I will show you in this video also, but I will also show you that you can actually go and 3D print with these models. And as you can see in this video that I took of the object I printed and created with AI, you can see it look actually pretty good. But to mix things up a little bit from the video I created before, let's go and create an AI image from another website instead of Microsoft's, because this deepai.org is also creating some good stuff that we can go and use, and it's pretty good to make characters. So for now, just to keep it simple, there is a dog here, but let's go and create another one. So let's just say dog, and then we get this one instead. So the style I choose here to get this low poly look, you just have to go to these view all 100 styles and then scroll down, and then you have this 3D origami generator. And then it deleted our dog. So no, it is actually down here. So to make a 3D model out of this, and I don't know how good it is when it's this low poly design, but let's just go and download the image. So save it on our computer. And then the next place we want to go to is the huggingface.co. It is this trellis AI generator where you can go and take an image and turn it into a 3D asset. So just go and upload your picture and say generate, and it actually looks pretty good, I think. It do have a lot of the details in the head here and the overall form. So when you're 3D printing, it's just important that you just have some definitions. So just like the eyes, that it wasn't just a texture on the flat surface, because then we couldn't see it when we 3D print. So this is actually pretty good for 3D printing. So let's just go and say extract to GLB, and then we can drag it around here when it's created. And it actually looks pretty good, I think, when you look at the AI image and you take a look at the model here. So let's just go and say download, and let us go and open Blender. So there's not so much we have to do inside Blender. It's actually just to convert it to a file that we can use in our 3D print program. So let's just go to files, say import, and say GLB, and we will go to downloads, and I think it's this one. Yes. So as you can see, when we scale it up, you can actually see it's not that pretty, but you know, the overall form is actually okay. And for some of the objects, you can go and use subsurf division. So if we just click on the object, go to this wrench here, say add modifier, and search for the subdivision surface, then you can see, if we take the sampling up here a bit, you can see that it looks a bit weird, and we actually get some holes here in the object. So I do think that to fix it, we could go and just click the object, hit M. Oh, sorry, you have to go to edit mode, so tab and hit M and say we have to merge the vertices that is so close to each other that we really don't need them. So you can say by distance, and you can see we got almost 1200 vertices that we get rid of. So let's try to go and add the subsurf again, the subdivision surface. And now you can see we don't have the hole here. So you can go and play around with it. You can also go and improve it, of course. But let's just say that this looks pretty good. Then we just want to go and say to files and say export and say STL, and in this case let's just go and drop it on my desktop. So we will call it dog and say export. So if you have a 3D printing program, I use Shitubox, then you should now just be able to go and drop it in. Of course, you don't have to use Shitubox. If you use something else, try to drop it into your program, and then you should know how to print it if you have printed a lot of different 3D prints. But what we can do is to go to the plus icon here and then take the dog and say open, and as you can see, it's very small now, so we can go and scale it up, and let's say it should be 20 millimeter, maybe a little bit bigger. So this is actually going to be a pretty huge 3D printed dog, but I think it's really nice to think of that this is AI created, and you just want a dog and you took it from an image. So if you want a more specific dog, you could do that and put some armor on it or weapons or something like that. But when you go and you print it a bit smaller, maybe if we take like 10 maybe, so like this, you have it to a miniature world. Maybe it should be a little bit bigger, but you of course also need to put some support to it. So you could go and tip it maybe this way and then go and put some auto support. So I don't know if this support is going to be good enough. Maybe you need some more here in the back. But the final thing you really have to do now is just to say print. And you could really see how fast this was, this process. So I'll just show you some examples where I have some pictures also of things I already 3D printed. So I will not go and 3D print this, but I will show you some AI models that I have 3D printed. So for objects, I have used this designer.microsoft.com, and I actually took this chair, and as you can see, I created this description. So it was like some D&D style that I wanted, because I just want to make some miniatures print of it. And then this was the model that I got from Trellis. When you click on the material preview up here, you should be able to see the texture. So if you have the dog, for example, you could see that. But you can also go to material and you can see it's actually gone from here. But since I'm printing, I don't really need the texture. And finally, you can see this is how the 3D print went out. So I actually think it's pretty good. A very nice print, especially when you think about you really haven't done any work at all. It's just AI that created it. So I hope this could give you some inspiration on how to use AI to create some 3D prints. It is basically a whole step that you're skipping here by designing the objects. And if you're making some miniatures 3D print, then it should be perfect, because you can't even see the details. Just like the dog, if you have that to a small miniature world, you couldn't see that it wasn't that good resolution when it was printed out. But thank you for watching, and go and have a nice day. Bye.